said goodbye to Lady Mary, and you had some amazing experience with Good Behavior and The Godless, that are strong characters, and you came back. Something changed in your approach to the character, or it was something beautiful to come back to someone you know so bad?
It was wonderful to step back into Mary's shoes, as it were, and something that we never really knew if it would. There were rumours of the film potentially happening, but you never know. And so the opportunity to all come back together and do it all over again was really special. And I think that after playing, as you say, the roles that I played, prior to going back to it, were American roles. So it was interesting going back into that accent again, and but it just kind of happened within 5 minutes. It's like we'd never left.
Obviously, we can reveal spoilers, but there is a great scene with Maggie Smith. So I was wondering, how long did it take to shoot it, and if something happens, curious, or you were very emotional?
Well, what was great about the film is that we had a little bit more time than we would normally do on a TV show. The schedule is very, it's quite tight on a TV show because, of course, there's so much to shoot. On the film, we had the luxury of a little bit more space to rehearse and, to really fine-tune the scene. And with Maggie, it was towards the end of the shoot, so it was a sort of anticipation leading up to it, and because of course it is towards the end of the film, it felt great that there was a little bit of a sort of, it was chronological in a way, but it was a very special scene. Without giving too much away, it's always feels like such a privilege working with someone like Maggie, and I've learnt a lot from her over the years, and but that scene in particular, there's a real kind of a real message and a bond, and it was quite emotional doing it, for both of us.
And Lady Violet is known for very great lines, but also Lady Mary. So I was wondering if you have a favorite line of Maggie Smith and one of your character.
I mean, there are so many. I think her classic one, "What is a Weekend?" It's just the delivery of that was just gold dust. I like some of the ones that she does in the film. I mean, the banter between her and Penelope Wilton is just brilliant in the film. Mary's got some really good ones. But there's one line that she said that always really humours me, which actually wasn't anything sort of particularly sort of witty, but she would say things like, she arrives in a scene, and there's that scene where she just says, "Right, I'm going upstairs to take off my hat." And then she just leaves. There's something very dry about her, which I really love. And I guess that she sort of, she takes after Violet like that. At times she's very much her grandmother's granddaughter.
And in the series and also in the movie, there is a great relationship between Lady Mary and Anna and Mr. Carson. So I was wondering, how was it work together again, and if it was like a family in a way?
It's always, it always has that feeling of us, all getting back together and getting the family back together. Yes, I love the relationship between Mary and Anna. They are, she's one of her closest friends and her confidant, and she, in many ways she's closer to Anna than she is to her family. And I think that's what people love about Downton, and something that Julian always touches on is these relationships between above and below stairs, and that there's always there's a sort of barrier there, but it's about crossing those, occasionally those rules are broken and the barrier is kind of taken down at times, and with Carson, I just think that Mary's always kind of seen him as a sort of other father in some ways, and I think those relationships are really interesting, that you can be close to your own parent, but you can have somebody else in your life who you go to for advice and support, and Carson's always been that person for her.
And last question, now you have also the movie by Guy Ritchie. So
Yeah.
I was wondering how was it, because the one on the trailer is very strange, so if you can say something about it, passing from one movie to another.
I mean, it's very different. You know, I like playing different characters, and so it was really great to go from Downton into that, because of course they're very, you know, they're extremely different, the two roles. I really enjoyed working with Guy. It's a really fun environment. It's sometimes you come onto set and he'll want to make changes, and there's a sort of opportunity to kind of really play. It's very playful. And you really have to kind of be on your toes, you know. Whereas with something like Downton, it's very structured. The script doesn't really change. Whereas with the Guy Ritchie film, I would turn up to work going, who knows what's going to happen? And I quite like that. I like having a bit of a kind of, you know, variation with my work, and it you know, it can really sort of challenge you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.